Hello everybody and welcome back to Land of Lions. We're looking at our beautiful Tabarim right now with a nice population, and what we can see is that ceramics is also in now. That is a cool thing. And on the happiness part, we got the tapestries that are now finally available for our population. As we can see, our factories are all working now at 100%. My workshops, my tapestry looms, and also my linen mills. Now one problem that we have, though, we can see that right away, is that the goat milk is running low a bit. For goats, however, we don't need fertilized or moisturized ground, so we don't need any water supply for that. Thus we can have our goat farms just here somewhere in the center of, well, the desert, and that's exactly what I intend to do. So we can use the space that we have here for a few of these goat farms. So let's have another warehouse that we can have then up here. Very good. And then I'm just going to squeeze in, yeah, let's say, let's not use this area there, but here we can definitely use one. Let's just see. And boom, we have 4 beautiful goat farms. That is not enough, however, I want to have 2 more here. So that is the whole goat production that we're going to have then in Tabarim, for at least for now. We do have, however, still another goat production, if you remember, that we do need to get rid of now. Or at least we do need to kind of like fix the whole thing. Let's just get rid of that street there for now, so I can have another farm here then. And squeeze in a few more farms then in this area. And then we're going to have those just beside it. Very nice. And now, as we can see, workforce is a bit low. Let's get rid of these goat farms first. We don't need them anymore. We can use the space then here for some more additional plantations. The problem we have now, though, is, well, shepherds. Well, we do need more, yeah, more buildings for that. More shepherds, I think. So let's add a few more to our beautiful city that we have so far. I'm going to have a few more blocks here as well. Oh, and I just realized that we're running out low on timber as well. Well, for now, these few houses here should do. And another thing that we need to check on real quick is just how many quests we have in this game at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quests just in Africa. 6 quests that we have open right now. So while my population kind of like replenishes, we should be doing some of these quests. Let's just have a few more houses there because we do have a bit of timber in again. And I'm probably going to get rid of those buildings here real quick and have the street then going to the other way, so we can squeeze in a few more houses than here as well. More than where was possible before. That is something. Yeah, shepherds though, that is a problem because it cripples my whole production, so we need to be careful there. And let's just hope that nothing bad happens. First quest that we still have. Now, Kidusi Anitoni, the eyes that gaze westward. Select the artifact the team excavated. So they have found an artifact. The ancient elaborately inscribed headstone is still partly decipherable. It is an inventory of ships and of trade to and from the island, evidently thousands of years old. There we have a pillar, an ancient pillar seemingly holding the library before Surya burned it down. The vase is adorned with the image of a solar king. What else do we have here? Sealed vase, kept safe from flames in a sealed vase. The ancient tapestry is still quite beautiful, and despite its fading colors.
It shall remain exposed while the search continues.
And an ancient registry of ships and their inventory from the harbor of Kidusi. Arrival and departure of ships and goods. So there, these are the fragments that we found so far. And pick up... Wait a second. No, I think the quest is finished, right? It seems to be finished for now. So what we need to do next is I'm going to send one of my cargo liners here to pick up at Lighthouse the blueprint. Water pump blueprint. Alrighty, wait until the workers have reached the bottom of the library.
But do inspect the statue. It may inspire you to write your chronicles.
And thus they continue digging down there and hopefully finding something interesting. While my other ship is on the way picking up the blueprints for the water pump, so that we probably will increase the water output here in Bahadeshar. And we still have also the main quest.
More to this project than they let on. I sense underhanded ambitions to support their independence.
And we also have a bit of more timber there again. Very good. Let's get rid of that street there. It's not needed. And just have it here. So this whole thing looks a bit more beautiful, a bit more organized in that case. And enough shepherds again. We should now be having enough goat milk again. Let's just check that real quick. We have a +2 again. Very good. Seafood stew. We are not even producing that yet. The tapestry, as we can see, lots of that available. So I think we should be fine for now. Let's take the blueprints. There we have them. And deliver them to Archie, getting a grip. This is one of the main quests. Look at that, the rise of Emperor Katima. Sir Archibald is having great difficulty acclimatizing to the change of temperature and culture. He hopes you will give him a leg up and share the water canal design patents Katema and Binyam developed. Right, so let's just have a look. He's not getting any water out of... He's just building along the river here, as we can see. He doesn't really have anything else in mind right now. So we are bringing him the blueprints there. So he's not hostile at the moment. Righto. Let's just see. We have the banquet. That's 5 tons of tapestry. There we have that. And 5 tons of dried meat. That we should have too. There we have it. And let's also deliver that to Katima. That is one quest. That is the other quest. We have the excavation that continues. Investigate the headstone before they reach the bottom. Where's the headstone? Well, no headstone found so far. Let's turn in the materials for the banquet. That is one thing. Very good. And blueprints at Archie are also coming in. And oh, we do get another one right away. Prove the findings. Workers at the excavation site have at last uncovered the upper levels of the old library, to much excitement among the priests of Kidusi and Itoni. It seems that among the artifacts found, there were some that contained evidence of their claims of being the wardens of Enbisa's original ancestral faith. Emperor Katima is, however, extremely suspicious of such a serendipitously beneficial find and asks you investigate the event. Let's just have a look at that as well. There's a lot of story in this game. It seems like all the criticism they had with the passage, and this time they really went to the other extreme, in my opinion at least, because that is just way too much story at some point thrown at you. We have found the blueprint and delivered it to Archie. So he's upgrading now. There's a lot of stuff coming in now. Very good. I don't know if it's that good if we actually help him that much. Alright, and let's also... Wait a second, we should have more battle cruisers here. I do have 3 battle cruisers. Let's send them to that ship here because we need to escort it. Right, so those battle cruisers are now on their way. I'm not starting until we haven't gotten all the battle cruisers over there, and excavation still is there. Someone may help you in Kidusi. There is the other quest for the findings. Okay, because Emperor Katina is suspicious that everything here is working for his advantage. We have to help him there finding something that the findings are fraudulent at the moment. And the workers noted that the stone has clearly previously been taken out of the ground. That is something. Someone, possibly a priest, seems to have altered it. There must be some clues at the site near the headstone. There we have the headstone. So around that there is perhaps something, like a bag of tools that we have. And it seems like that is actually something. The bag of tools belongs to Priestess Lila. Priests live on the eastern side of the island. Find evidence at the culprit's house. Let's just have a look. So east of the island, that's here. And there are some houses. That's the house of Priest Lila, the skillful one. Perhaps there's something. Table. Up on the table sits a letter addressed to Lila. Lies and truth are not absolute. They are defined by the context within which they are uttered. Only the gods can utter truth. We are bound to imperfect assessments, individual at best. Altering the stone is one such assessment. Some will call it fabrication, but it is not our duty to ensure the will of the gods is on earth as it is above. This provides a greater narrative, a truth in keeping with what we have defended and upheld for millennia. We will gain much and so uphold the great truth of the gods by transforming the lesser imperfect truth of mundane men. Okay. The letter mentioned a well containing the original text. There is only one place in Kidusi where water is used, and find the well. And that is up here, the ritual pool. We have the bags of hibiscus here. That's nothing though. Ritual pool. Is it not this one? There's an old well. Fragments of ceramic on the well, ancient and worn. One of them is inscribed a manifesto of ships and cargo similar to headstone.
Poor Wahadesha folk would not notice, but we are wise in the old law. You have to confront them.
Alright, let's confront the High Priestess. So you found my note to Lila. I did not expect you to be so astute, but I cannot deny there is some relief in not having to hide it anymore. I suppose you want to know why I did such a thing. I believe you wish to protect your faith. Our faith and our duty are intertwined, to document history beyond the reach of mortal man, whether kings, tyrants, or passing ephemerals. Ketima's dream of an empire does not accommodate with this truth, so if deceit is the only way to remain beyond his grasp, to remain true to our divine mission, then there are no illegitimate ways to preserve the island and its soul. However noble your intent, what do you do to fabrication? It is a lie. A lie! Though we may have no proof of the veracity of our creed's tenets, you have no better evidence of them being untrue. I may have falsified evidence, but that in no way invalidates our fundamental truth. But perhaps such understandings beyond one of such foreign ideas. Okay, my lord Ketima must hear of this.
Nothing more from one of Ketema's hounds. This affair is no longer yours to command.
Alright, we need to sail back to him, but let's take a break from these texts and stories and continue. What I want to do in Tab Rim actually is I wanted to remove my forest production or my timber production here for quite some time now, because here we can have some additional houses for our village, Tab Rim, and instead I'm going to have these forest productions up here where we don't need any kind of water. So in that case we can have a few of them here. As we can see, it's 100%, and I can just squeeze in a few of them, like there is another one and here's another one, all of them working at 100%.
Left ruins behind.
So there we have that, and also then our goat milk that we have up there. So that's our wood production. We actually do have quite a lot of Wansa timber at the moment, and I'm going to use this now here with another marketplace that we can have. I guess then we can squeeze it in, but let's just start with a few houses there. And yes, beside the water canal, I mean, there we have a beautiful water canal. We might just have a few ornaments then as well. There we have then another row. And or actually, instead of this row, let's have the marketplace. Righto. And we will also, of course, need a musician's court. So I'm going to have this one. We have another one here. So actually, instead of those buildings there, I want to have the musician's court then as well. Right, that's what we can do. Then we're going to have the streets going around here. And here, of course, we're going to have these... Oops. The water court, the musician's court. And then we can have a few more houses in this area too. Righto. Just along the beach. What a beautiful location. Right, a whole new district. There we have a bit of space that we could use for some ornaments, or well, for some trees at least. Trees are very nice to have there, especially along the canal, as we can see, and people can just enjoy their day here. Can I build a street over that? Yes, I can do that, and so let's do this as well. So those people probably will work at the industries over here and can then just, you know, walk over there if they want to. That is fine now. That is all working. Fire station, we do have one here, so that is fine. That is going to reach everything anyway. Of course, our musician's court still needs a few things, so let's add a few more trees then to the whole thing. Around it, so it's kind of covered in shade of trees there as well in the center, and thus another district has been born. We'll probably build more than here, right? And thus we also have lots of shepherds, and let's upgrade a few more to elders, because, well, we can, and of course that is our goal, to get also more shepherds. And thus my timber has run out, And we have more of them here now as well. Let's just go back to Archie. I think we need to escort his ship there. Let's start with that.
Morning winds on the...
So he's now on his way to Katima. Local guide. So Archibald is rather jumpy at having been thrown into the deep end here in Enbeza. He asks if you, as a person he knows and trusts, would act as a guide and escort him to the diplomatic banquet Katima has laid on. This is going to be interesting. Is Katima now good or is he evil? We'll find out soon, I guess. Or is Archie actually the evil guy here? Or is none of them evil? We definitely have one that is against Katima, and that is the priestess here. So take the proof for the priest manipulation to Katima. That is another thing. I think we do have, yep, a cargo ship here. Let's get the proof and get it to Katima. So she laid falsified clues out here to defend herself against Katima. She does not want to be part of this new empire. In that case, she wants to be isolated on this island with the ruins. And Katima wants the opposite. He wants to find out what's going to happen here. And we need to, yeah, kind of decide now. And I guess we're going to root with Katima for now because we have the quest for that. So you uncovered the High Priestess manipulations and decided that Kidusi and Itoni must face the consequences. In that case, we're doing this now. So those two quests we focus on right now. I need to lay out a bit of a focus here for these quests because it's just way too much otherwise. And let's bring this one, the Ostraka and letters, back to Archie. To Katima, sorry. Archie's on the way now still, being escorted with my battlecruisers. And while that is happening, let's have a look at Elal Ilbella. Here we are actually, yeah, planting our indigo. That is working fine. We should probably, since we do have the timber, continue a bit here with city construction as well. And how much indigo do we actually transport there? 9 tons for each turn. But that is such a small distance here, it should be fine, so we should have quite a lot of indigo there. 19. So we're definitely making a surplus here, and as we can see, tapestry and ceramics are pretty much high up there. So it's perfectly fine at the moment. Let's also upgrade our harbor there to the next level. Looks much better now and suitable for such a big city. Righto, so those guys have that now. For happiness, what else do they need? They need so many things. Look at that. Monastery. Can we build that now? We can build a monastery. It takes a lot of timber though. But yeah, having 2 monasteries will probably be a good idea. We could squeeze in one here. I can see that. Close to the musician's court. That makes sense actually. Righto. So here we're going to have our first monastery that I can have, and then we're probably going to have a second one up here, but for now let's just place it. This makes sense to me to have it just opposite of the musician's court, a nice little plaza that we have here then in the center, and then I probably will have another one there as well. Timber wise, they're not producing yet, are they? Oh yes, they're producing, very good, but I think 3 of them are not enough, so I would like to have perhaps, it's a difficult one, a 4th one, but for that we'll definitely need another warehouse then. Just along the mountain here, having all of that. Where's the proof? Oh, and Archie's coming in as we speak.
Make your acquaintance.
Sir Archibald will do, my good man. Your emperor will be expecting me.
I'm sure he will.
I am Binyam Sablake, emissary for His Imperial Majesty and tasked with counseling him on this delicate matter.
So Archibald, perhaps you could introduce us empire to empire. This is Sir Archibald Blake, the Queen's ambassador.
Come, your presence will be invaluable.
Or a man of culture and decency. Is that him? Archibald Blake?
Celebrate your leadership.
I come to you in person since Her Majesty's letter do not seem to be reaching you. They contain, should you not already be aware, copies of a protectorate agreement requiring your swift signature. Such an agreement would guarantee Enbesa's protection against envious forces in the region and leave your people's future in the safe hands of the Queen, and offer any judicious tributary to the crown would be delighted with. Protection, you mean to make Enbesa a vassal. Hear that, Binyam, our steward. here adds their voice to ours. So Archibald, I happen to agree with my steward. This proposal is outrageous. Imperial Ambassador does not need what you call protection, but a fair alliance, toe to toe, equal to equal. That I would be ready to discuss. An alliance? Preposterous. She's not my queen, she is the queen, our queen. Why am I even here if you're going to behave like a pair of parochial stick in the muds? Now, if you don't mind, I shall take my leave. Seriously?
Outrageous! Arrogant! How dare he think himself an equal to Her Majesty, pompous little kinglet? Of all the useless... why did I ever agree to come back to these wretched shores? It's pointless.
Okay, that was not
Temperate
successful.
man if I ever saw one. And you say he's usually amicable.
Fleet ready?
Well, to me at least.
I hold no ill will towards Sir Blake. It takes time to accustom oneself to new surroundings. Bring him food, and he may yet soften.
Seafood stew, that will certainly soften him, I guess. So that was what we need to produce first, though, however. We also have still the delivery to make. Where to, though? To this clipper there, I guess.
I take it things did not. I
Yes.
had expected better than common forgery from priests. Evidently, it is time they were brought back into the fold and learned humility.
Oh, he's not a good guy after all, hey? He wants to take military forces now,
Since
what?
you have had time to reconnoiter, I wonder if you couldn't help me with some blanks on our survey maps.
Yeah, sure thing. Another quest that pops up now from
All in
Archie.
Her Majesty's name.
So 7 quests up at the moment. And our first task for now, though, is that we produce this seafood for, yeah, Archie. The seafood stew. Oh, that's going to be quite a complicated and big production chain. I'm eager to see that myself anyway. Let's finish this episode here with building the monastery, though, in all its glory. It's a beautiful building, by the way, as always. And in that case, my people have a monastery now. That should increase happiness even more. Yep, because it is part of the happiness here. And with that, stay tuned.